When the enemies of Judah and Benjamin heard that the exiles were building a temple for the Lord, the God of Israel, they came to Zerubbabel and to the heads of the families and said, "Let us help you build, because like you, we seek our God and have been sacrificing to him since the time of Esarhaddon, king of Assyria, who brought us here." But Zerubbabel, Jeshua, and the rest of the heads of the family of Israel answered, "You have no part with us in building a temple to our God. We alone will build it for the Lord, the God of Israel, as King Cyrus, the king of Persia, commanded us." Then the peoples around them set out to discourage. Can y'all say discourage? To discourage the people of Judah and make them afraid to go on building. They hired counselors to work against them and frustrated their plans during the entire reign of Cyrus, king of Persia, and down to the reign of Darius, king of Persia. The enemy knows that if he can get you discouraged, then you will not succeed in accomplishing the dream God has put in your heart. What dream do you have? Dream of a happy marriage? Dream of successful children? Dream of a successful business, money, good health, longevity? I'm going to tell you, the enemy will work at trying to discourage you. I like what Billy Graham once said. He said, "I have never seen God use a discouraged person." Wow. You know, God can use anyone, can't he? He can use someone who's been in prison. He can use someone who's been through a divorce. He can use a widow or a widower. He can use someone who filed for bankruptcy, who lost their house, who got sick. He can use a paraplegic. He can use a poor person, a sick person, a tall person, a short person. He can use a white, black, brown, yellow, polka dot. But there's one person God cannot use, and that's a discouraged person. See, when you get discouraged, you lose all the ability to fight life through. You lose the ability to stick to it. Instead, discouragement causes us to throw in the towel and to give up and say, you know, there's no use. What's the point of trying? We'll never have a happy marriage. Why see any more counselors? It's done. I'll never get healed. I'm just tired of seeing all the doctors. I'm through. You know, I'm tired. I don't see why I'm going to keep trying this. It's not going to work. And that's what Billy Graham meant when he said, "I've never seen God use a discouraged person." Are you discouraged today? You're going through some things that's making you give up. I'm here to tell you, God has a word for you. Don't give up. Help is on the way. And that's what happened here in Ezra's time. God put it in their heart to build a temple, to rebuild the temple that got destroyed by Babylon. And even Cyrus gives them permission. Go ahead and build it. And says they start building it. And what happens? The enemies of God start to oppose them. And what is their strategy? Discourage them. So what is discouragement? Discouragement is to deprive of courage, hope, or confidence, to dishearten or to dispirit a person. In reality, you know what? The root of discouragement, you know what it is? It's fear, not depression. You know, I've done a lot of thinking about fear, depression, anger, jealousy, resentment. I've come to one simple conclusion. All negative emotions, they have their root in fear. If you don't get rid of the spirit of fear, you're going to be discouraged. And all of us are going to have opportunities to be discouraged. No matter how many victories you've ever had in the past, sooner or later, you're going to meet discouragement. We all have been discouraged. I've been discouraged before, but one thing I have had to learn to do is I don't have the luxury of being discouraged for long. Somewhere down the line, I have to shake it off and say, no more discouragement for me. I cannot afford to be discouraged. For the sake of my own life, for the sake of my family, for the sake of my church, I got to shake off the discouragement. And right now, I'm feeling like God is telling you, it's time to shake off the discouragement that's on your soul. Get rid of it and say, you know what? I'm in God's will, and nothing bad's going to happen to me. You got to shake it off. Now, how many of y'all want an answer? How do you do it? How do you shake off discouragement? Go to Psalm chapter 3. I want us to look at verse 1. It says, "O Lord, how many are my foes? How many rise up against me? Many are saying of me, God will not deliver him." Sounds like the very people that were trying to discourage Ezra from building the temple. They're saying it's not going to happen. And he's saying, how many are going to rise up against me? Lord, I have everyone opposing me right now. Everyone's against me, it seems. And they're all saying, God will not deliver him. But what's the answer? But, can y'all say but? Whenever you face discouragement, you have to recognize God has a but for everything that's happening to you. But you are a shield around me, O Lord. You bestow glory on me and lift up my head. There's the answer. What is it? It's three things that God will do. Ready? He says, here it is. But you are a shield around me, O Lord. Now, what's a shield for? It's for protection. And when you are having all sorts of bad things happening to you, you're starting to think, man, I'm just unlucky. When is this going to stop? And you know what you got to stop? At that moment, you got to recognize, wait a minute, Lord, you are a shield around me. This is more than carrying a shield. If I carry a shield, I only protect me from my front. But when I have a shield surrounding me, I'm protected from the rear as well as from the front. So even when the enemy wants to hit me from the rear, boom, they hit a shield. I might shake a little bit and I look as, oh, you hit the shield, didn't you? Because I'm not, and so what I recognize is there's a shield around me. And a lot of times we get this thought that when bad things are happening, God's not protecting us. But God says, I want you to know that is a lie. There's a shield around you. But not just any shield. What kind of shield is around me? It says, but you are a shield around me, O Lord. You know what shield is around me? God doesn't send a shield. He is the shield. He is the shield around me. I don't just have a shield, He is it. So when I'm walking, I recognize there's a shield, but not just any shield. The shield is God Himself, and He is surrounding me. That means He's protecting me. So I have to recognize that no harm really can come to me right now. It may look like I'm being hurt, but I'm really not being hurt, because no real harm can come to me because God is my shield, and I am in His hands right now. And you got to remind yourself during your dark moments that God is your shield. But number two, are you ready for this one? You bestow glory on me. Oh, I love that. Now here's what God does. He gives you glory. You know what glory is? It's honor. During your time of discouragement, the thought can occur to you, I'm going to be embarrassed. I'm going to be shamed. What I'm going through is going to turn out, and in the end, people are going to look and think, oh, what a pitiful person. He's shamed. But you know what God does? He gives us and bestows His glory on us. That's the prayer that Jesus prayed in John 17. Father, give them the glory that you gave me before the world ever began. So when I look at Jesus, I see a man with glory. People try to shame Him, try to hurt Him, but they could never really hurt Him. Yes, you say, but Jesus died on the cross. But 3 days later, He rose from the dead. That's what I'm saying. Because when you have the Lord as your shield and you have Him giving you glory, you may look like you're crucified, but you just hang in there. It's only Friday. Sundays are coming. See? God's going to turn some things around in your life. And I'm feeling like God is telling you right now, He's going to turn some things around in your life. I don't know if it's your business. I don't know if it's your health issues, your marriage, things with your children. I don't know what's going on in your life. But I'm here to tell you, it's only Friday. Sunday's coming. See, and God is going to turn some things around in your life and bestow upon you glory and not shame.